about a DC motor. So what is the operation of a DC motor? So the DC motor which converts what type of energy into it converts electrical energy. Yes, good. So electrical energy into a mechanical energy. So electrical energy is converted into a mechanical energy with the help of DC motor. So it is just a reverse operations of a DC generator. So in a DC generator, it just converts a mechanical into an electrical. But a DC motor which converts a electrical into a mechanical. Okay. The construction wise, both the DC generator and motor, it will be the same. Okay. The construction wise, there is no change at all. Both the DC machines, that is motor as well as a generator, which will be working under the same construction. Okay. Only the function wise it will be different. In a motor, it converts electrical into a mechanical energy. Okay. Suppose, so here we are taking a two set of R pole and a south pole. I am going to place a current carrying conductor. So this is meant of a conductor. So this is nothing but this. Okay. Whenever the current carrying conductor which is placed in a magnetic field, what will happen? It experiences a force. Okay. So in a generator, we are going to generate an electrical energy. So the EMF will be induced there. But here, the conductors will be cutting the magnetic flux, so that time the voltage will be generated in a generator. But in a motor, the same, the conductor, current carrying conductor which is placed in the magnetic field, so that time what will happen? The force will be generated. So this force will move the conductors. Okay. So this is what we are going to see in a DC motor. Whenever the conductor, current carrying conductor, that is a very important current carrying conductor. Since we are going to give an external DC supply to this circuit. Okay. So current carrying conductor, this is nothing but an example of a conductor which is placed in between the magnetic pole. That time it experiences a force to move it. Okay. So what is the movement of this conductor? We will see that. So due to the magnetic field flux, see, so what will happen to this? Suppose we are placing a conductor in this. This is a conductor, example of a conductor, and force will be experienced whenever we are placing a conductors in the magnetic field, current carrying conductor. So at that time the force will be experienced. So it will be given in the loop. So magnetic flux which is shown here as a loop. We are placing the conductors in a loop of what? Magnetic flux. Okay. Then now what will happen?
Magnetic flux.
Yes. So the force will be generated. So this force will be either moving in upward directions or in a downward directions. Okay. So here in this case we are considering the flux is a weak one. There is a what is the meaning of a weak? It is a less amount of flux. That is a meaning. Suppose we have a less flux and in a bottom we have a more number of a flux. So more, just we are giving the name as a strengthening flux. Just we are denoting with a different name. Okay. We are considering there will be more flux. Then it is strengthening flux. In upwards, we will be having only a lesser number of flux. So at that time, what will happen? This more flux will be generating motion, force, it moves the conductor in a upward direction. So the motion will be in a upward direction. It will be generating a force in a upward direction. Okay, this will be in a upward direction. So we have to draw a line and this one. Isn't it? And similarly, so after generating a motion in upward directions, again suppose we are considering the current direction to be in a reverse when it is moving from one pole to the another. So at that time what will happen? Now the current direction will be reversed and
downward.
again the force will be opposite. Okay. Now we have to draw the diagram will be in a reverse order. So now here we have a more number of flags, strengthening flags. Here we have a less number of flags. After certain time, the current direction will be reversed. So at that time, the flags will vary. So in a upward, it will be generating a force. It makes a movement in a downward direction. Isn't it? Wherever you have a force, wherever you have a more number of flags, it will be making a force in that particular directions. If we have a more number of flags in the upward directions, it will be making the motions in the downward. Suppose we have a more number of flags in the bottom, what will happen? It will be making the motions in the upward directions. So it continues. Okay? Wherever you have a flags, it will be generating a particular set of motion in that directions. If it is in a more in a bottom, it will be generating a. If more number of flags in the top, then it will be generating a motion in the downward directions. So that is a one key point where we have to remember. And the next one is about it moves the conductors in a upward as well as in a downward direction. Okay, and so the magnetic flux. So the magnetic force. So here we are talking about the force only we are generating. So the force we are going to write a formula. Force in a motor. The current carrying conductor is placed in the magnetic field. So at that time it is generating a force. So for that force in a motor we are writing the formula F is equal to V I into N. So what is the unit of this force? What is the unit of a force? Force unit. Unit of a force what is in a? It is written in a Newton. Okay. It is written in a Newton. So what is the V here? What is the V? Magnetic flux intensity. Magnetic force is. So more number of we have a many different set of force. So at the time there will be more number of magnetic flux will be generated. So altogether we are calling that as a magnetic field intensity. What is I?
Current.
Current. Very good. So current in a conductor. Current. What is the unit of current?
Current. Ampere.
Ampere. The unit of current is in ampere. And for N it is the length of the conductor. N is nothing but the length of the conductor. The length here we are taking it is in terms of meter. Okay. So the force we are writing formula F is equal to V I into N. So the force unit is written in terms of Newton. So V here we are writing V as a magnetic field intensity, I is a current in terms of ampere, and L is nothing but a length of the conductor, isn't it? Then next one. So similar to a DC generator, here also we various types of a DC motor. Okay. So what is the rule here we are going to use it. Okay. So the direction of a motion which is given by generating a motion is in upward or downward direction. So here the direction of a motion which is given by what type of a rule? Fleming's direction of motion which is given by Fleming's left hand rule. What is the left hand rule?
That's until.
You might have studied in your school itself. So what is the left hand rule? Left hand rule? This is your left hand rule. If you don't buy anything, this is your left hand rule. What you have to do? You have to place all the three fingers, thumb finger, forefinger, as well as this is your middle finger. All the three fingers are mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay. So at the time, yes. So the middle finger which indicates that what is the direction? Direction of a
Current.
direction of current. Very good. So this indicates that direction of field. Okay. This indicates the direction of
Current.
motion, force. Okay. So what is the three things we are generating by using this DC motor? One is the current carrying conductor which is placed in a magnetic field. At the time it is experience the force. Okay, it is experience the force. So due to the force only the conductor starts moving. Okay, so that is what we have done here. So we are talking about a current, magnetic field as well as the force, motion. Okay, motion of a conductor. So the middle finger which indicates the direction of a current. Kindly note down. So the thumb finger which indicates the direction of motion, and for forefinger and for middle finger. So the middle finger which indicates the direction of a current. So the forefinger which indicates the direction of a field. Okay. Yes. So here the direction of motion which is given by the Fleming's left hand rule. Okay. So this is a very important DC motor. The direction of motion which is given by the Fleming's left hand rule. So you have to explain what is the thumb, forefinger as well as the middle finger. Okay. Then So in a DC motor, we will be having a larger number of conductors. Okay, larger number of conductors and a strong electromagnetic force. So that will be housed in an armature. That will be placed in an armature. More number of conductors which will be placed in an armature as well as a strong electromagnetic force. So it will be making the armature to rotate. Okay, and then so the next concept is about a back EMF. So what is the meaning of EMF? You have studied in a generator.
EMF எவ்வளோ current produce பண்ணும்?
What is the EMF? So electromagnetic force. Okay, electromagnetic induction, or you can call it as electromagnetic force. Okay. So whenever we are going to generate a voltage, okay, EMF which is nothing but a voltage. So here back EMF which will be similar to a DC generator. Okay, what is that? What is the meaning of a EMF? How we are generating a EMF in a DC generator? The same operation only here we are going to do it. Okay, whenever the conductor is placed in a magnetic field at the time, so the EMF will be induced. Okay, so here the EMF is nothing but a voltage. So the voltage will be generated. So automatically, whenever here the conductor which is placed in a magnetic field, the current carrying conductor which is placed in a magnetic field, at that time the voltage will be induced. So here So the back EMF already, the formula we know that, what is that? Pi n Z divided by 60 into P by A. The formula for both the generator as well as this motor will be the same. So E is equal to pi n Z divided by 60 into P by A. So what is this? So we can able to write E set up a parameter. What is the pi? It is a S magnetic flux. N is
Number of
turns as well as Z
conductor.
S. Very good. So number of conductors. So how many number of conductors we are going to use it? And P is nothing but a number of poles. Very good. So P is a poles and A is nothing but a number of parallel path. How much number of parallel path we are going to use it in order to make arrangement of a conductors. Okay. Number of parallel path. So the same formula we are going to use it for the DC motor also. Okay. And then, so you can give an example for the DC motor. What are the examples of the DC motor? Where we are going to use a DC motor? Our household appliances will be using it. And other than that, we will be having a what? We will be using the DC motors in a lift. Okay. So in lift and all, if it is in the weather, it is in a load condition or unload conditions, the speed will be in the same order. In a lift as well as in an escalator, in an electric train. So wherever we will be using a more number of load, so whether the number of persons will be more in the lift or whether there is no person in the lift, it will be operating in the same speed. Okay. Yes. So these are the real-time examples of where we are using a DC motors. Okay. And then see, before moving into one types, we have a various set of load conditions. What are the various set of load conditions? So for the back EMF, so this is what the back EMF will be generated. This is armature current, armature resistance, and this is the equivalent diagram of back EMF. So you note down this. This is for the equivalent diagram of back EMF. So you will be having a supply, positive and negative, DC supply, positive and negative, and here you have a armature resistance as well as a EB, which is nothing but a back EMF. Plus and minus back EMF. In a motor alone, we have a back EMF. EB. Okay. And then next one is about time. So how will you find out V? V is equal to how will you find out V here? EB. This is nothing but a EB.
Plus or minus.
Yes. No plus or minus. We are writing this is a KVL, or otherwise you can write it as a V. You can take any set up a sign for this. So minus and plus, we are taking in this direction. So V and then minus IA, RA, and then EB is equal to 0. It's a voltage law. The sum of ultimate voltages will be equal to 0. So in order to find out the voltage, V is equal to IA, RA plus EB. Armature current, armature resistance, and a other side, V minus EB divided by RA. If you know any Greek parameter, we will be able to find out the other one. So armature current IA is equal to V minus EB divided by RA. So EB, which is nothing but a back EMF, that is total number of voltages which is present in the armature. Okay. If motor speed is increased, the speed of the motor will be increased, then back EMF will also be increased. Okay, speed will be increased and EB will be increased, but armature current will be decreased. Okay. Then suppose the speed will be just in opposite and EB will also be reduced and IA will be increased. Okay, ma'am. So IA just opposite to the back EMF. It is nothing but a back EMF. Okay. The speed, if the speed not to increase the speed, the back EMF will be more and IA will be armature current will be reduced. And similarly, it will be just a reverse operation. Suppose we want to reduce the speed as well as the back EMF. Okay. Next one. How we are going to do the implementation of back EMF? Implementation of back EMF in DC motor. Okay. So we will be having the three set of condition. One is the DC motor which is operated in a no load condition. The DC motor which is operated in no load condition. Okay, it is operated in no load condition. There is a no load which is connected across the armature. Then what will happen? Okay. So we will be experiencing a small torque. If there is a no load, we have not connected any load to the DC motor at the time, there will be a very small torque will be generated. Okay. So torque is nothing but in order to start the motor, we require some amount of torque, initial torque. Okay, ma'am. So in order to start a motor, we require small amount of torque. So which is required to small amount of torque which is required to overcome the friction as well as the losses. What is the losses? Winding losses. Hysteresis as well as the eddy current losses. So in order to overcome the losses, winding losses as well as the friction loss, so we require a small amount of torque. Okay. So now this due to small torque there will be a back EMF which will be almost closely equal to the input voltage. What is the input voltage? It is supply voltage V. Okay, this is supply voltage. Here they say as a EB. Sorry, EB is equal to approximately equal to almost closely equal to the V. Here, the armature current will be minimum. Okay. If there is a no load under that condition, so the back EMF will be generated. So why the small torque will be generated? In order to overcome the friction as well as the losses. Okay. So this will be almost equal to the input voltage. So that is what we are writing as a equal to then some type of an approximate symbol. So almost equal. Okay, that is the meaning. And IA will be small. Okay. Note down for the DC motor when it is operated under the no load condition. And next one is about that. Suppose we are applying a load to the motor. So DC motor, second one, write the second condition. So the DC motor is is operated on load condition. Okay. So here we are talking about a driving car. So what do we know driving car? So in order to start a motor, we require some amount of a small torque will be required. So that torque will be called as a driving torque. So the driving torque alone, which is not sufficient to start the motor, if the motor is operated under the load condition. Suppose we have more number of persons in the left. Okay, so that time the driving torque, the small torque which is not sufficient to start the motor. So we require extra torque. So that is nothing but a extra force is nothing but a retarding torque. RT, this is nothing but a ET. So for the easy understanding, driving torque is not sufficient to start the motor. So additionally we require a retarding torque. Suppose we the DC motor is operated under the load conditions. We have more number of persons in a lift or in a escalator. So at that time, what will happen? So the retarding torque, whenever we are additionally giving the retarding torque, so at that time what will happen? So the armature, so it will be making a slowdown. That is a motor speed will be minimum. Only we are using the driving torque, small torque. So at that time the speed will be minimum. If the speed will be a minimum, then back EMF will also be getting reduced. The armature current will be a maximum. Okay. So in order to increase the speed, in order to make the speed, so what we are doing? We are going to increase the torque of this driving torque. Okay. So at that time the motor continues to slow down. So till the driving torque will be matches with the loading torque. See, whether we have a load, there is a no load, or whether we have a load. So lift, escalator, which will be working under the same speed. Okay, so we will see the operation. If there is a no load, there we have a small amount of a torque is required in order to overcome the losses, friction as well as the winding losses. Suppose it is operated under the load conditions. So at that time the driving torque, the small amount of a torque is not sufficient to operate the motor. Okay, so we require extra torque. So that is said to be a retarding torque. Okay. So if the driving torque will be a minimum, so at that time the armature speed will be minimum. So armature speed will be getting reduced. So back EMF is also reduced, but the current will be just opposite. So IA will be increased. Okay, and then after that when we are giving the driving torque will also be increased. Okay, so again the motor just continues to work on. So it will be slow down the speed. So until the driving torque which will be equal to the loading torque. Whether we have a load or no load, the driving torque will be equalizing in order to make it as to a steady state. Okay. Then the third one is that if the motor, DC motor, speed is reduced. load conditions. Whether we have a more number of load or less number of load. So what is the operation? So here the motor armature is just opposite the load. So the motor armature, that is a speed, will be getting increased. If it is increased, the back EMF will also be getting increased and armature current will also be getting reduced. Okay. So if IA will be reduced on current, then our driving torque is also getting reduced. Okay. So whether we have a load or unload, so the motor will be automatically generating a driving torque. So it will be, if the current will be a minimum, the driving torque will also be a minimum. So it will be automatically matches with the loading torque. Whether we have more number of load, then at the time this torque will be equalizing, balancing the loading torque. Okay. Whether we have a less number of load, so at the time the driving torque will be balancing the loading torque. Okay. It will be doing a balancing along with the load. Okay. If the speed will be a minimum, so at that time IA will be a maximum. The speed will be a, in order to increase the speed under the load conditions, so the driving torque will be increased, so it will be matched with the loading torque. Okay. At the starting stage, the motor will be slowed down. So in order to match up the speed with the load, it is doing this type of actions. Suppose we will be having a less number of load, so at that time the current will be in a minimum. So if it is a minimum, in order to reduce the speed, it will be driving torque will be a minimum. Okay. So which is nothing but a force. So whenever the current carrying element is placed in the magnetic field, it is experience a force. So that force is called as a driving torque. Okay. In order to start our motor. So it will be again reducing this driving torque and then it will be matched with the loading torque. If the load will be a minimum, it will be reducing. If the speed will be increased, so at that time in order to reduce the speed, it will be decreasing the driving torque. Okay. If the load will be a maximum, at that time the driving torque will be, the speed will be a minimum. So in order to increase the speed, it will be adjusting the driving torque. So that is the point here. We have to represent this for the DC motor. Okay. So the next one is about types of DC motor. So similar to the generator, here also we have what are the two types first?
Series, shunt,
Yes. Series, shunt and a common type of motors. Okay. So common which is further divided into a long shunt and a short shunt. Okay. Long shunt and a short shunt. So DC series motor. So you can draw the diagram. DC series motor, DC series motor. So for drawing the motor, here you have to represent, here is a M. Okay. There will be writing as a G for generator, M for motor. Okay. So there will be a difference. Here we are giving a from external DC supply voltage. So positive and negative RSC. Then in a motor which is nothing but here we are talking about armature. So armature as well as IA. Armature, RA is nothing but armature resistance. IA is nothing but armature current, and RS is a series resistance. Okay. Then have you noticed this? Then this is for the series one and for the shunt, just opposite, we have to DC shunt motor. So this series resistance will be less than a armature resistance. Here the series resistance will be less than the armature resistance, and current I is equal to, here we are talking about the current I. So I is equal to, in a series the current, all the current will be equal. I is equal to IA is equal to ISE. Okay. So in across the motor we will be connecting a load. Okay. And for DC shunt motor, so here the shunt feed, there is a feed winding will be parallel to the armature, that is a motor. Again, here also we are going to give a voltage RSH. So for a motor, you have to represent this as a M, RA and a IA. So here there will be an back EMF will be generated, ISH, and then this is emitter. The current flows to the armature, or you can call it as a load. We can connect the load across the motor. So see the connection here for the shunt motor RHS. This is nothing but a field, or you can call it as a shunt winding. Okay. Just we have connected a shunt winding which will be across to the motor. This is for the parallel. If we are connecting RHS will be a parallel to the motor, that is nothing but a shunt motor. Okay, so for this case,